Hey guys, welcome back. Scott here with a new beer dissection video. Depending on when you're watching this, I pick up a lot of compilation packs. Sam Adams, today's Voodoo Ranger, Saranac. Think you name the brewery, Southern Tier. You name the brewery. I always feel they're a good way of getting a little bit of a cross section of a brewery. But you've heard me say this before. Those of you who follow me a little more closely. Recently, which I'm probably going to pop over my face or over my shoulder if I haven't done it already, from New Belgium Voodoo Ranger. There's a new compilation pack, at least new to me. There was one beer in there that was not unfamiliar. It was the Juice Force. But there were three others, or I guess maybe two others, maybe two or three others. There were four beers, I think three of each to create the 12-pack. That were in there. I'm going to probably do videos at least of those three of those videos or three of those beers that are in that pack. But I'm probably not going to do a Fruit Force video, which I think I've done in the past. So anyway, this one today is Captain Dynamite IPA, which I'm sure I'll have a picture popping over my shoulder if it's not already sitting there. And regular IPA, and it is 7.7% ABV, and just the typical Voodoo Ranger guy on there. Again, when you think of Voodoo Ranger, I usually think of IPAs. Most of them are solid. I really got to admit, most of them are solid IPAs. I'm not going to say they're going to beat Trillium, Treehouse, Equilibrium, breweries like that and put them out of business, but they're economical. They're solid IPAs for the most part. I don't want to bash Fruit Force and Juice Force. I think those are their two worst IPAs out there. They're medicinal and just overly sweet and cloyingly sweet. But anyway, enough on that. But overall, I think some of their other beers are pretty solid for the price point and nice to have in your refrigerator. Guests show up, maybe unexpected, and you don't want to give them one of your $24 of 4-pack beers, and you want a solid IPA. A lot of them I think are pretty good. This one, again, this typical skeleton guy sitting there, looks like he's smoking a cigarette. And there's a hop on the thing. And that's it. So anyway, let's check this one out. I got my regular Teku glass. I'm going to do a video on glassware. I love Teku glasses or any glassware that has nucleation points on the bottom. You're not going to be able to see it. I'm putting it up there like you can see it. It kind of stirs things up a little bit. Carbon dioxide comes to the top of the glass, helps emanate a lot of the hop and malt aromatics to the beer, and create a little bit more head to it, but we'll just leave it there. So anyway, let's take a look at this one. Again, today's beer dissection, Captain Dynamite IPA. Okay, I'm cracking this open, and let's take a look at it. All right. So I'm going to pour it a little bit more aggressively just so I have a nice little head there. So let's take a look at it. I got about an inch, pretty white, maybe slightly off-white head. There's nice tight bubbles on the top here. It's not like soda bubbles. Pretty impressed by it. I call it the crema effect. If you have I have a nice espresso machine, you kind of get that nice crema effect on top. Kind of Cool Whip effect, sometimes I say. Color-wise, the lighting's a little crazy. I'm filming this in February. The sunlight over my shoulder is screwing things up a little bit with my lighting. But I have this kind of like this dark straw to kind of a light gold to medium gold color. Actually, I'm not even say medium gold. The light is playing tricks on me. There's some definitely haze there. With a lot of these IPAs, between the polyphenols and hop matter, as well as sometimes they use oats and wheat in beer IPAs to create a kind of more of a New England IPA effect. I don't know what Voodoo Ranger's using or New Belgium, but we have a little bit of a haze there, but not off the charts high. It's kind of more like a typical IPA, American IPA. So anyway, guys, let's take a sniff of the aroma. I'm glad I'm using my Teku glass here. Oh, nice. A light citrus lime. some tropical fruit. I'm trying to pick it up, like maybe a pineapple mango. And maybe even a little stone fruit, or, you know, like kind of, there's some type of orange, like either apricot, light tangerine, but like not over the top, like you got orange pith or orange, you know, zest or tangerine. It's more like apricot, peach, maybe mango. Okay, and I'm getting some lime on this also, and slightly dank, but pretty pleasant. I mean, like I said, at the filming of this, I've only reviewed one other from this pack, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was Hop Avenger. So take a look under my beer dissection if you are interested in, you know, a lot of the Voodoo Ranger brand. I've done a lot of videos on theirs. But anyway, pretty pleasant as far as the aromatics on this. Malt-wise, I would say like kind of a light toast, maybe, you know, bread crusty slightly. But you can even tell by the color, you know, they're not using a deep crystal malt or brown malt or anything like that. So anyway, guys, cheers. Wow. Kind of medium carbonation. A little colder than I would like it. That's my fault. Same thing on the malt. Kind of get a light toast, maybe a little bread crusty, maybe slightly graham crackery, but that's about it. Not much more on the malt. But on IPAs, many times, these are hop forward beers. We're not worrying too much. I'm going to move this camera a little bit. We're not worrying too much about the malt complexity, other than I usually like a little malt backbone to it. But these are hop forward beers. Believe it or not, no alcoholic warmth, which, what did I say this was at 7 something, which we are approaching where I usually get some of the warmth. Kind of medium full mouthfeel. But same thing on the taste buds. You kind of get like a little bit of tropical fruit. Maybe a little pineapple, but I get a little stone fruit, like either apricot, maybe light peach. Pretty nice though. In the apricot, I usually say it's kind of orangey-ish. Okay, there's a little bit orange essence to it, but not as strong as, say, a tangerine or a regular orange zest. The bitterness is pronounced, but pretty nice, guys. Again, at the filming of this, I reviewed the Hop Avenger. I think I actually enjoyed that one pretty well. It's actually drinking a little drier than I would usually get from a lot of these IPAs. I usually bash Juice Force and Fruit Force. I know those of you that love it, 9.5% alcohol bomb with the New Belgium. But this is, even though it's still pretty high at 7.7, those usually are very medicinal. I find cloyingly sweet. This is actually drinking pretty nicely. And drier than that. Like you're not just getting kind of like smacked in the face with sweetness and medicinal orange. In those beers, I actually question whether they're infusing it with artificial sweeteners and things like that. Like I said, the bitterness is kind of like a pronounced bitterness. Aftertaste kind of leaves you kind of with the tangerine, not the tangerine, excuse me, that kind of the apricot, tropical fruit. And you kind of left with kind of a lighter malt, like kind of like that light toast type of character to it. But really good, guys. I'm actually enjoying this one. And again, I usually been bashing Voodoo Ranger recently. But this one, I got to say, along with one of the other beers I did a video, even though I haven't posted it at the filming of this, I'm quite enjoying it. Again, I'm sorry, I got to move I'm getting crazy sun. I got to get the sun for February here down pat for my videos. But Captain Dynamite IPA, grade-wise, guys, I'm going to give it a solid, I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to give it a solid A-. I apologize for the lighting on this video. A solid A- for overall drinkability, enjoyability. I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to put out Trillium, Treehouse, Equilibrium, all the big boys that do a lot of IPAs in New England out of business. But for a economical 12-pack, readily available beer, I would recommend this one. Okay, I would take this over Juice Force, Fruit Force any day. So if you are a Voodoo Ranger lover, I would take this one any day over that. All right, guys, sorry for the lighting on this video. I'll try to get it ironed out for the next one. To the next beer dissection video, have a great day. Take care.